Hi there, and welcome to my movie library. It's great to see you guys here again tonight. I hope you guys watched my last video. It ran 97 minutes long, so it was kind of a long one, and it does lead me to the thoughts of maybe I will do a podcast down the road as well to go with these here videos. I'll keep you updated on any news with that. But right now I've got like a small haul to show you guys. Actually, a pretty small haul. You're going to see some collections of some things. I'm going to talk about a couple of sales that are going on right now. One that actually probably might be over by the time I actually get this video uploaded, but I'll mention it to you anyway just in case there's maybe an hour or two left on it, because it is a 24-hour flash sale. Either way, guys, we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight and in a shorter time than we did it last night. Thank you guys for watching yesterday. Thank you guys for coming to the movie library today, and let's get to it. Alright, so before I show you guys the haul, I thought I'd start with something different. So what happens when a movie comes out in 1986 and the sequel doesn't come out until 2014? Well, more than likely that movie didn't do that well and didn't do well with critics or audience at the time. There is a reason for that, though, and that is there's a character that Lawrence Block writes called Matthew Scudder. He wrote several novels of the character, and he wrote some novellas that actually went into Alfred Hitchcock magazine, if I remember that correctly. Anyway, so in 1986 there was a film with Jeff Bridges, Rosanna Arquette, Alexandra Paul, Annie Garcia, just called 8 Million Ways to Die. Now, Kino put this one out. This is a really good release. There are some really good interviews on this here that will explain the film a little bit better, and there's a cool commentary as well that I'm actually going to listen to probably tomorrow night. Anyway, I'm going to give a quick synopsis of the film, then I'm going to let you guys know my thoughts on it, and where I think it went right and went wrong, and if I think that revisiting after these many years, when it didn't do so well, if it stands up, if it's better than it originally was thought to be. Anyway, let's go with it. So Matt Scudder is an alcoholic police officer who's on a drug bust, basically to bring this guy back in that's been selling drugs. He's a drug dealer. He's at home with his family, his wife and his young children, and Scudder, along with his team, attempts to bring him in alive. Now, Scudder's been drinking on the job too, but it doesn't affect what he has to do in this case. Basically, the guy says, I can't go back to prison, I can't go back in. He grabs the Louisville Slugger and he starts beating up Scudder's team. Scudder takes the shot and unfortunately has to kill the guy right there in front of his kids, which leads to a downward spiral for Scudder. Scudder takes time off from being a police officer, and by time off I mean he does not go back. He quits, that's it. But he becomes, he dives even more into alcoholism, and we find out that 6 months later he's been we don't know how long. I'll explain it later. There's a period of time later, and he's been sober at this point for 6 months. He's got a 6-month chip, and he gets a letter with some money in it, and basically it tells him to go to this party, that there's going to be a job for him. At this party, he meets a prostitute played by Alexandra Paul by the name of Sunny, who's wanting to get out of being, of her profession, being a prostitute, and she really kind of doesn't tell things straight out. She kind of pussyfoots around what's going to happen, and eventually she lets Scudder know that she needs him to help her basically quit the job that she's doing and get out of town. She says that she's scared of a guy named Chance, who is a guy that Scudder had busted years ago and straightened up his life afterwards. So Scudder finds it odd because Chance doesn't seem like the type of guy that he'd be having to go and tell that she'd be threatened by. But he's paid the money to go do it. He goes to do the job. Chance is surprised by the fact that Sonny says this, and anyway, it leads down to there's a mystery. Sonny gets abducted and killed. Scudder spirals down into alcoholism again. Comes out of it, only to be more determined than ever to solve the case. Now, he can't solve the case on his own, so he goes back to the girl that he met at the party where he saw Sonny at, where he saw Chance at, and where he met a guy named Angel, a local drug dealer played by Annie Garcia. The girl is played by Rosanna Arquette, and basically go to bring the killer in. It's no mystery really to who the killer is. They try to play it off like it's going to be a mystery, but Andy Garcia's character of Angel is obviously the killer, and it's an unusual film. It has a unique little climax. It does have kind of an happy ending. I'm not going to tell you any more about the film than that, but I'm going to be right back to give you my thoughts on this film and where I think it succeeded, where I think it failed, and where I think it fits into basically to the Scudder universe, and how I think it lives up today. Now, 8 Million Ways to Die was a flop, an unequivocal flop back in the day that it came out. It was one that almost everybody that acted in the movie thought should have been a huge success, and directed by Hal Ashby, who was known for being not just a great director, but one of the best editors in the world, should have been a much, much better movie than what came out. Now, there's a reason for that, though. Hal Ashby is an actor's director. He gives actors a lot of free range to do what they want, and he gets a lot of different takes from them. One of the things that he likes to do is he's passed on now, is he would get them to go as far as he wanted to with the scene. Get hype up, amp up that emotion, and then bring it back slowly. And as he'd get all this footage and he'd cut it together, he'd make a masterful film. That's what he was known for doing. Look at Hal Ashby's body of work, and there's some great stuff. Unfortunately, although Ashby did shoot the picture was taken away from him by the studio, and they had somebody that knew nothing about the film or knew nothing about Ashby's style of filmmaking cut it, which led to a very unusual and strange film that in many ways, because of certain ways that it was done, and because Ashby didn't mind and used a lot of improvisation within his films, at times came off, to give you a feel, if you've seen this movie, you know what I'm talking about, much in the way of Beware the Blob did, with where basically everything was improvised. It's jarring, and you've got this kind of this story that's very nonlinear. It isn't balanced well, and it seems very much, it's all over the place. The ending is atrocious. At the beginning of the movie, you can tell pretty much it's straightforward. It's trying to be straightforward, but it's been edited so badly that even the linear portion of it is kind of being taken out. As it gets farther into the film, you notice that there's a more of a free range type of feel, a more improvisational feel. Unfortunately, the editor of this film didn't get Ashby's style, and he wouldn't have known the take that Ashby wanted to use. And Jeff Bridges is known for saying that often the editor that edited 8 Million Ways to Die picked the worst possible take for the scenes, with many possible takes that they could do. He would pick basically, remember when I mentioned earlier that he would start with a really high amped up type of reaction, and kind of move down to the one that that they would eventually use. Yeah, the editor, for some unknown reason, decided to use the high amped up, most unrealistic reaction for some times. Now, that being said, I did enjoy 8 Million Ways to Die. It is not a good film. It could have been a great film if Hal Ashby had edited this film together. I could see signs of greatness and potential within this film. The acting is fantastic for the people. Alexandra Paul was early in her career. She did a good job for the role that she had to do. It was obvious that she was a little uncomfortable with it. It was her I think it was probably her first nude scene, and she goes, she had the full frontal nude scene with the very famous line. There we go. And Rosanna Arquette does an amazing job in the film, but Jeff Bridges and Andy Garcia, they steal the show. They play off each other very well, and Garcia especially. I love Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges has that kind of quiet coolness. Same like Kurt Russell is. He's got this kind of he's just cool. The Big Lebowski. He's just a cool guy, and in this one he's much like if you've ever seen the TV series Mannix, where basically you got this Mike Conrad. Guy that gets beaten up a lot. So crappy stuff happens to Scudder's character. Scudder does not get the good of it. he's always getting beaten up or threatened or pushed around, and to the point where Andy Garcia actually told him that he felt bad for like having to be so mean to Jeff Bridges, and Jeff Bridges is basically, "Nah, man, it's cool. You just got you got the bad guy blues. Basically, you play the bad guy, and you feel like, oh man, but it's cool. That's what you do. That's what you do as the bad guy." Is it worth seeing? It's definitely worth seeing. No going in that this is not the masterpiece that it should have been. There's another Matt Scudder movie, which is again a walk among the tombstones, starring Liam Neeson. I did actually enjoy that film. It was kind of a success. It didn't make a lot of money, but I think it at least made back its money a little bit more. But this one here showed a lot of potential of what could have been. Jeff Bridges does a great job as the Matt Scudder character. I loved Andy Garcia's role in this as Angel. He takes the scenery. And there's some scenes in this film that really shouldn't work. And they do. Despite the bad editing, despite like some of the craziness of the film, despite using like a lot of the wrong takes. There's a scene near the end that's done in a warehouse. And it's kind of the big confrontational scene. Now, this is not your glossy, glitzy, glamorous Michael Mann style of scene that you're going to see here. It's a very, because of the improvisation, because of the way that things are done, it actually comes off as like very hectic, very, in my opinion, very realistic to like how something like that would actually play out. When you're watching a TV show, you're watching one of those shows or movies, a lot of times you can kind of tell where things are going to go, or you can tell it's a movie, and it comes across very much as a film, and it's okay. Like films are meant, as entertainment that you can sit back and watch. Now this sequence here doesn't come across as a film. You could actually see somebody like saying, okay, this was footage that was taken at this warehouse, not in like the found footage type of way, but just in the way that they play off, the way that they talk to each other, the way they talk over each other, the motions that are made. It's very, very like uber realistic, like in certain sequences. Conversations between Jeff Bridges and Andy Garcia just seem random at times, but they seem random in a way that makes them more realistic. Makes them more real. For those reasons alone, I think it's definitely worth seeing the film. You're going to be like more than likely confused with the way that some of this is shot, like some of the scenes that are put in. The opening sequence where the like force the 8 Million Ways to Die name in here is it's different. I've read a few of the Matt Scudder books, and I actually have read 8 Million Ways to Die. I was kind of confused at first that this took place in Los Angeles, because if I remember correctly, I think the book took place in New York. I'd have to look back on that. I think they mentioned it in one of the interviews, actually, because I watched some of the interviews on her as well. There's some great interviews. Rosanna Arquette's interview is the shortest, but she comes across very well, and both her and Andy Garcia kind of get like a bit choked up when they're talking about Hal Ashby. He was a director that meant a lot to both of them. Alexandra Paul wasn't familiar with Hal Ashby. She was definitely newer in her career when she made the film. Lawrence Block has a really great interview on there, basically talking about the book, and I think that's where I actually remember, like, because he mentions that it was set in New York. And who did the commentary for this one here? So there's a commentary by film historians Howard Spurgeon and Nathaniel Thompson. So I'm actually looking forward to checking that out. I didn't check out the trailer gallery. That's the one thing I didn't check out besides the commentary. But there you go. 8 Million Ways to Die. Not the masterpiece it should have been. Flawed, confusing, frustrating at times, but definitely worth the look. And in my opinion, it does belong in the collection. If you're collecting Kino and you like their different stuff there, this is kind of like this is not an actiony film. I thought when I turned this on, I was going to watch another action film, like a kind of, or at least a kind of like a noir or neo-noirish action film, and it does fit the noir like sensibility. There definitely is that to it. This is not against all odds. It's a very different type of film. But it is very much a neo-noir film, in much of the same way that like To Live and Die in L.A., Against All Odds, films like that are. It's just very different, and it could have been an amazing film. You can see glimpses of genius, especially in the acting and in some of the shots, but that's definitely mirrored and bogged down by the editing. And the editing isn't just bad in this film; the editing is atrocious. Ed Wood edited films better than the editor of this film edited 8 Million Ways to Die. He did not know. I don't know who it was. Maybe he became a good editor afterwards. Maybe he was a good editor before, but he did not know how to edit this film, and it's a damn shame because some great performances and some great source material got kind of wasted. That being said, I do recommend you at least see this film and decide for yourself. If you have seen the film, let me know what you thought of it. Like, again, not a masterpiece, not even a great film. It's a good film, but the performances are worth seeing it for. I'll be right back. I got a haul to show you guys, and then we're going to get into part of a collection vid because we're going to talk about that, and we got some sales to talk about as well. Hey there, so I have just 3 Blu-rays to show you guys tonight. 2 of those are Kino Lorber ones, so that's kind of cool. But first off, I'll show you one that I picked up at Giant Tiger. I hear that the print on this one isn't the greatest, but I did want to own this film. I do like definitely like the actor. I like a lot of the actors in this film, like the actor that the movie is about as well. Decent biopic. I need to rewatch it again to see like what I think of it now. But it's Chaplin starring Robert Downey Jr. It was a great choice for Chaplin, actually. This is, I think, Richard Attenborough directed this film. It does go a little long, I think, at times. But it's a good cast. Robert Downey Jr., Dan Aykroyd, Geraldine Chaplin's in this one. Anthony Hopkins, Mila Jovovich, Mara Kelly, Kevin Kline, Diane Lane, Penelope Ann Miller. Wow, Marissa Tomei, James Woods, Nancy Travis. Just an amazing cast. Really looking forward to checking this out. I wish there had been more features on this one here. It's a pretty bare bones release. If it gets a better release down the road, I definitely will pick it up. Now there's 2 that I got from Kino. First is Sinbad of the Seven Seas with Lou Ferrigno. It's a very cheesy film. I have a lot of fun with it though. My better half, she loves the Sinbad movies. She collects this stuff. Obviously, this is not the John Philip Law Sinbad, and Lou Ferrigno is, you know, earnest, but was not the greatest actor. But it's a movie you can have a lot of fun with. It's super cheesy. You know what you're getting with these type of films, and one that we're looking forward to watching again. Next up is you guys know we collect the animation, and you know we've gotten all the Kino Lorber Departed Freelings that have came out. So Pink Panther Volume 1, we're really excited to get this. There's like a bunch of other commentaries on here as well, with historian Jerry Beck, filmmaker Greg Ford, cartoon writer William Holhauser, and veteran Departed Freeling storyman Bob Kurtz, plus archival soundbite from animation pioneer Friz Freleng. And again, this runs from like 1964 to 1966. I'm looking forward to getting the other volumes of this. We got these on DVD, but we want to have this upgraded to Blu-ray. We want all our Departed Freelings on Blu-ray. Just great animation. If you're a fan of Pink Panther, if you're a fan of like classic animation, definitely check this out. That's what I got tonight. 3 titles: Chaplin, Sinbad of the Seven Seas, and Pink Panther Volume 1. Eagerly waiting the other volumes in the series. I'll be back, and what we're going to look at, we're going to talk about the sales that are going on right now. One that's going on for the entirety of February, and one that's just going on for these 24 hours. And after that, well, we're going to look at some of those films from both of the companies that are having those sales. So hopefully that'll be a little bit interesting to you. So I'd like to take this time here for a couple sections just to just respond to a couple comments and say hi to a few people, to thank them for commenting. And again, if you've got a channel that's out there, let me know. I'm always looking for new channels, and let other people know about the about channels that are out there, or just if you want to like talk about some things or ask questions. I do like it when questions are asked on here, so I get a little question time. So basically, I want to say a big hi to Tim Hayes, who made a lot of really cool comments here, and he's a huge fan of, like, I think he's I'm guessing you're a fan, right? Of Starman. But he said he couldn't remember the name of the bad guy from the Starman TV show either. Kavanaugh, Michael Kavanaugh. I had to look back then. I do remember since then, because I did have to look that time. Oh, was he on Dark Shadows? 2 roles in Dark. Yeah, you're right. He was on Dark Shadows because he did that because they did that part where basically did the time thing, where they went back in time. That was actually really cool. Victoria Winters. Bones and the Necro Zoo. I want to say hi and thanks for your comment on there as well. Darren Hartley actually mentioned that Alice, Sweet Alice, is coming out on Blu-ray from 88 Films in March. I'm actually looking forward to that, so it'll be interesting to see that one. I do have the DVD of that, but I really would like to upgrade that one to Blu-ray. I was asked by Tim if I'm a native Canadian or just an American who relocated to Canada. And I did answer it there, but I'll answer it on here for some people that may not know. If you can't tell by my accent, I am Canadian. And there's a thing with... I grew up wanting to act. And if you listen to Canadians who act in films and TV shows, a lot of times you're going to see we have like a unique accent or dialect, and a lot of that comes from like a lot of the on stage trying to not have an accent or trying to have the accent that's needed, or like in a lot of cases, like for some people, just trying to sound more American, or because of our kind of maybe our laid backness, to sound more authoritarian, kind of like some famous Canadian actors that you guys may or may not know, guys like Lauren Green from Bonanza, who had like the the deep booming voice, which I definitely don't have. There's John Vernon, who did some great stuff. William Shatner is a Canadian actor as well. There's a lot of us out there, and although I did not follow my thespian dreams, I think that it did affect the way that I talked and the accent that I have. That and the fact that I did have a really bad stutter, and I still do have an actual stutter that I worked on a daily basis. I consider it a source of pride that I am actually on here able to make videos like this. When I was younger, I couldn't formulate a sentence. So that's one thing that I wear with pride. And if anybody out there has any issues like that, own it, because that's part of the awesomeness that makes you you. And never let anybody tell you anything different. Mark Stewart, he saw the Friday the 13th set. He has the tin, which is really cool. I know I diss on the tin a little bit because I didn't like the look of the Jason that was on it, but it is a really cool set with the patch and like the mini crystal like memories book. That's just me because I don't have it, Mark. That's the truth of the matter. But I do love the new set. It's definitely worth getting. Well, you don't need it, but if you don't have the set, get the Paramount set. And Tay Mass said it was a neat little movie room I got. Yeah, it's still growing, and I'm hopefully in Easter I'll be going out to Halifax, so I'll be picking up some new shelving more than likely, unless I see a bunch of movies, and then I'm gonna try and pick up movies and shelving. But I really do need more shelves. I want to expand this out here farther. This entirety of this room eventually is going to be like a huge movie library, so I'm still like on a daily basis I'm kind of working on that and moving things around. Enready, if you have not seen Enready's channel, Enready is in Ontario, and he has a really cool channel. I know that especially around like Halloween time, I'll like look at his channel to see like some of the stuff that's out there, because I'll go to like the Giant Tigers and go to some of the other shops and I'll buy like some Halloween stuff, like what comes out at the different stores, and it gives me an idea, because like we both are in Canada, and it kind of gives me an idea, because he's got a bigger, more bigger stores to go to, but it gives me sort of like an idea on basically where to go, and like what are some of the things that I may hopefully, fingers crossed, be able to expect when I go to these stores. He does he goes to some conventions as well. He went to, I think it was the Toronto Fan Expo last year, and there was all these movies there. I was salivating at the stuff that was there. But anyway, yes, I plan on doing more videos this year than I did for the second half of of last year, and fingers crossed that happens and that stays that way. I will be working very hard for you guys and making sure that my videos hopefully stay entertaining and not too long, a little long, not always. But yeah, yesterday was I had a lot of stuff to show yesterday. Bushman Blue here said that he just picked up Scars of Dracula. Dude, that's awesome. That is an amazing print. Probably the best print of like Scars I've ever seen anywhere. I saw it at my dad's and it looked freaking incredible. I was going to pick that up recently, and they actually just upped the price from £13 30 pence, right, to $14.99, which not a lot, but still, you know, when you do the transfer, it is a bit more than I originally expected. It is region locked, but luckily I went region free years ago, and with all the 88 films and arrows and all the Eurekas and BFIs and all that stuff, there ain't no way I can go back. Blu-ray Lantern, yep. I'm back to the older stuff, like love Scars, damn straight, and is a huge Hammer fan. So those are some of the guys that actually commented here on my on this today. And again, there are so many like great YouTubers out there, people that I will be mentioning in videos coming up. So with that being said, let's talk about the sales. Now there's two. Again, the two big sales that came out today, and they had me all confuzzled and confused because my birthday's coming up, I'm saving up, and I have very little money that I can spend right now. A good friend of mine, actually, I was talking to a few people about the sales. I mean, I talked to a good friend of mine, Ken, about the different sales that are going on. I talked to Sammy, I talked to Falgar about the sale that's going on with the one of them, and I talked to a good friend Parsnip also about the one of the sales, because he knows a lot when it comes to that company. I mean, a lot. He has the biggest collection I've ever seen of that of this company, and that company's Twilight Time. Because there were two sales that are out right now. Criterion decided to have like a 50% off sale for 24 hours. It's a flash sale. It's not at the Criterion website. If it's still going on when you see this video, go check it out. Let me know what you got in the comment section down below. If you already knew that it was going on and you did some ordering, again, let me know in the comment section down below what you picked up. I did not get anything from the Criterion sale this time. I'm waiting for the Barnes & Noble sale. Actually, I spoke with Ken on that, and I think we're both going to be doing that. But there is a Twilight Time sale. Now, this sale I am very interested in. That one of the things I'm going to show you guys tonight is my Twilight Time collection. It's a very small, modest collection, and I got that thanks to some great friends. Because I'll be honest with you, this will be my first time, if I get one, this will be my first time actually buying Twilight Time film. The only thing that's always made me nervous is that I'm here in Canada, and although the last time I ordered from Screen Archives, it came fairly fast, and I got them, I'm always getting nervous because they put a red banner warning when you order your videos, and they say, you know, would you like to pay $45 extra to ensure that your films are going to come to you? If your films are lost in the mail, we have no, you know, we don't send out other films. Basically you're screwed if the films get lost if you don't get them. So that's one thing that made me a little nervous, and that's a very unfriendly way to do business. But I do want some of those Twilight Times. There's a few out there that I'm looking at right now. The Believers with Martin Sheen. I like those kind of voodoo films. It didn't get like the best rating at the time, but I did enjoy it. Another one that I'm kind of interested in is Audrey Rose. It's an early Anthony Hopkins film. And if you've seen my earlier, I think about a year or two ago, I did a video on here called like Most Wanted Twilight Time Films. I actually mentioned that film. Another film that I mentioned, but you know what? I had totally forgotten about it to the point that I asked other people about the film. And it wasn't until much later that I remembered knowing the film, and that it was Mississippi Mermaid with Jean-Paul Belmondo and Catherine Deneuve. Now, that film is done by Francis Truffaut, and it's basically it's kind of noirish, I guess, in a way. It was remade by Antonio Banderas and Angelina Jolie under the title of Original Sin, which wasn't the greatest movie, but I did like Mississippi Mermaid from what I remember about the film, and it's been a long, long time, actually to the point where I asked other people if they remember the film. So yeah, my memory, that's it, it's going to my older age. I really want At Close Range. At Close Range is a favorite film of mine. Actually, it stars Christopher Walken, Sean Penn, and his brother Chris Penn is in as well, the late Chris Penn. It's a true story. It's a crime story, and it has that amazing "Live to Tell" song. You know, the one that Madonna did. I love that song, and actually listened to it like 3 or 4 times tonight, kind of hyped me to wanting to buy that film. But the thing is, I only have like a limited budget right now on what I'm going to buy. A good friend of mine, actually, Sammy, is actually getting me a Twilight Time that I really want for my birthday, and I want to thank you so much for that, because I'm very super excited about getting that on my birthday. That's something that I'm actually really looking forward to. And I won't tell you guys what it is, because I will do the unboxing on here and the shout out. And that's like Movie Max said that he wants to do, like, basically give donation, like send me a film or something down the road, and I want to say thank you so much. I'm trying to like get this here library in order and stuff, so anytime that that something is sent my way, it is greatly appreciated, and I feel very humbled and grateful for whenever that happens. So thank you in advance, and it means more than you actually realize. There are times when something like that happened when I was kind of down, and it just made me realize, you know, people actually, you know, there's people actually watching this. Because there was times when this was a much, you know, this is a small channel, but it was much smaller, and I didn't know if I was getting across to anyone, if I was making a difference at all, and that got to me. And then, like, even in more recent times, that there was some setbacks, and I kind of wondered, was it worth it to go on to keep doing the channel? But I'm here, I'm doing it, and I'm having fun with it, and that's at the end of the day, that's the thing. But things like that, when guys like Movie Mac makes comments like that, when Sammy out and out goes and like says, you know, here, I'm going to grab you this for your birthday. That's melts, you know, my heart grew 3 sizes that day. That's I'm wearing the green so I could work with the Grinch thing. Actually, when I was talking to my better half about like maybe getting some stuff from the sale, and she's like, your birthday's coming up, and not so sure. I said, you know, but you know, we can look and stuff like that. I said, yeah, we can look, and said, you know, maybe we can get a couple things. So I said, yeah, maybe you can get something, or you can get something. But she didn't say it first. She was going to say in place of, is what she had meant to say. In place of what some stuff you got picked out. I was like, aha, you did not say in place of first. And then I used the Grinch, like the big smiling Grinch gif, and I guess it's much funnier if you actually experience it. Believe me on that one. We'll just go with that. There is another sale going on right now. Actually, it's probably going on at this very minute, and I have not checked it out yet. It is the 50% off Full Moon sale on Full Moon Direct. So if you haven't checked it out, I'm not sure what their shipping's like in Full Moon Direct. I know that some of their stuff is priced fairly high. There's one thing there that I wish I could get. I can't, but it's definitely on my list of things that I want. They got like a Jess Franco 10 DVD set that actually, when it's shown together, it shows like a picture of Jess Franco and stuff on the side of the spines, much like the Shameless one has Shameless on the spines. So there you go, guys. Those are the 3 big sales that are going on right now. Tell you what, let's go look at my Twilight Times. Look at my Twilight Time collection. I'll tell you, maybe I'll even rank them. Maybe not. We'll see. All right, since it's such a small, like, little stack of films, I'll take them out and I'll show you guys my Twilight Time collection. Now I have, like, I think it's 8. I have 8 Twilight Time films there that I'm going to look at. Some of these are out of print. I'm actually very proud of the fact that I that I've gotten some of these. I mean, I'm proud of every one of these that I got, actually. And every one of these films are films that I actually really enjoyed and that I definitely wanted on Blu-ray. First off, there is 10 to Midnight. Now, I'm a huge Bronson fan. If you are new to my channel, maybe you're not aware of that, but I'm a big Charles Bronson fan. I love his stuff, and 10 to Midnight is my favorite Charles Bronson movie of all time. Needless to say, this was one that I was very, very, very excited to receive. And just blew me away because this is such a good film. And is there... Yeah, there is like a commentary on this. Damn, I gotta listen to that. I have not listened to the commentary on this yet. So, and I've watched this movie several times. I've watched this one I watched this one the night that I got it, and I watched it again like 2 or 3 other times afterwards. Very good film. Next up is another Bronson film. This one's been remade actually, by Jason Statham. Right? I think they made 2 movies so far in the Jason Statham like versions of the film. That is The Mechanic. So this is Charles Bronson, and I'm pretty sure it's Gemma Vincent, right? In this one? Yeah, it's Gemma Vincent. Jill Ireland's in this, and Keenan Wynn. Great cast. If you've seen the newer Mechanic, I recommend that you see this one as well. Great film. Charles Bronson does a great job in the role, and again, I do love the Twilight Times. What I really like, and I got to say, I love their booklets. So you'll open them up, and you'll see like 10 to Midnight. I'll have a booklet. They're not like big booklets, but neither are the ones that come with the 80 film slasher collections. Well, the ones that used to come with those, but they're informative booklets, and they're always a good read. The fact that they're not too long actually works in their favor with these. Not that they're badly written, but because it just gives that little morsel that you really kind of dig. So, I'm trying to put these down here without having them fall on the floor. Next up is The Blob. This one is out of print. I was really surprised to get this one. It is a fantastic film. This is the 80s version with Kevin Dillon and Shani Smith, right? Shani Smith, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, Shani Smith. Donovan Leitch is in this one. Kenny Clark. Again, great film. Highly underrated. It's a Blob film that I think really, really should get more notice. Definitely want to check out. So if you ever get a chance to get this one, I think it was probably in Australia, probably by Umbrella or a company like that. So definitely pick it up. Well, if you can't get the Twilight Time, just get the Australian one. They got a great print with there as well. Vampires. This actually came out by Indicator in the UK, so if you don't have the Twilight Time one, you can go grab the Indicator one. It'll probably have a bigger booklet for that one. But I do dig this film. I'm a big John Carpenter fan. I'm a fan of the acting of James Woods. I'm not a fan of the person of James Woods. I don't think many people are anymore. He did some questionable stuff, but I do like his acting in this film. Though he wasn't the best part of this film, actually. I like Tamsin Griffin in this. There's so many actors in this one that I actually liked. Ken Yorga Vampire. I really did dig this film. Again, really cool. I love this cover. I do. This is like a fantastic one. I love the inside, like the booklet too for this. So, just love the way this is done. I have the Return of Count Yorga by Scream Factory. I'm thinking about doing a visual essay on the Count Yorga series down the road, so I probably will pick up like at least the DVD edition of the Count Yorga collection. Depends on like how much difference there is in price between the DVD and Blu-ray collection when they go on sale. And after I do that, because I want all the different features, because I want to be able to watch the films, listen to the different commentaries, like dive into the features as well, and then like make some notes and do a little visual essay. So that's probably in the later part of 2018, but that's what I'm looking towards. Next up is Strange Invaders. Again, it's a fun little film. A lot of people haven't heard of this one. Definitely worth looking into. I did enjoy this film. I do like these sci-fi films, and this is a cool one. It's different. It's different than you think. Next up is Scream and Scream Again. I love these style films. What a cast, man! Like we got like Vincent Price, Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing. But who did it? What company did this one again? Is this AIP, really? Okay, it is. It is an AIP film. I kind of thought, maybe this is an Amicus film or something like that, or Tyburn, but nope, AIP. So there you go, Scream and Scream Again. Really cool stuff. Last but definitely not least, I think this was my first Twilight time that I ever had. I'm not quite sure, but it's one that is near and dear to my heart, and I've watched this Twilight time more than any other because this is one of my favorite films of all time, and it's definitely my favorite 80s vampire film. And yes, even above Near Dark, even above Lost Boys, I love Fright Night. Great film, you know. You've got like Roddy McDowell, Chris Sarandon, Wim Ragsdale, Amanda Beers. Incredible cast. And I'm forgetting the names of the other people in here. Stephen Jeffries. I love Stephen Jeffries. I can't forget his name, man. And there's a ton of features, audio commentaries on here. First ever Friday Night reunion panel. I kind of want to watch that again right now. Shock to Your Jaw presents Choice Cuts with Tom Holland and Ryan Turek. Ryan Turek actually is now making he's part of the guys that's making the new Halloween film. I know this because I follow Shockwave's podcast, which has like Eric Kane, Rob, Rebecca, and Ryan. Ryan isn't there all the time now, so he'll come on Skype basically for some of the Shockwave's podcasts. This is a fantastic one. It actually has a video, the Fright Night video. So guys, welcome to Fright Night. For real. I always got to say that. I'm such a cheesy guy. So let me put these together. Vampire film, vampire film, vampire film, alien film, alien film, monster film, Charles Bronson films. So the other one that had a sale was the 24-hour Criterion flash sale. So you get tired of looking at this mug for a bit, so let's go over and look at some of my Criterions. So I'm not going to take them out, but I'll just do a little quick talk on some of the Criterion stuff. Obviously, if you don't have the Zadichi set and you're a fan of the samurai films, the Zadichi set is a series to get. This really colorful one that you see right here, that's the Jacques Demy set. I'm a huge fan of Jacques Demy. My favorite Jacques Demy film is probably The Young Ladies of Rochefort. A lot of people love the umbrellas, but I'm a big fan of that one anyway. So, you know, I got the original Samurai trilogy there. Stuff that I do strongly recommend that people pick up. If you really like to be frustrated with the film, and I mean this in the most sincerest way, actually, Picnic at Hanging Rock is a gorgeous film. It's definitely not for everybody. It's not. It's very much. Leaves things very much to your interpretation. Breathless is a film that I do think belongs in everybody's collection. Sweet Smell of Success is a fantastic film, and it's a writer's film. If you write, if you act, you owe it to yourself to see Sweet Smell of Success. It is a gorgeously done film, as is The Night of the Hunter, one of my favorite films of all time, and my dad's a very favorite film of all time. Godzilla! I love that. Mulholland Drive, I really did dig that one. I really like that one. Scanners, not for everybody again, but I did enjoy it. Now, Kiss Me Deadly, I do recommend that everybody have in their collection. It's a fantastic film. If you're in editing and filmmaking, Don't Look Now is a great one. It Happened One Night, again, fantastic dialogue in that one there. A Night to Remember is the best Titanic film in my opinion. Oh my God, my cat just freaked me out. Did you hear them? So he meowed. He's like, meow, pet me, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to pet you in a second. Class to Risk is really, really good. House is crazy insane. Anything Chaplin. I recommend anything Chaplin, anything Harold Lloyd. Fantastic stuff. To Be or Not to Be. If you don't have that one, get that one. It is really good. And Seconds is a fantastic film with Rock Hudson. I'm a big Rock Hudson fan. Mystery and Fear is actually really good. I was really surprised with how good that one actually was. Safety Last, again, is Harold Lloyd, and you should not be without that film. It is a great film. So that's just I've got a very small Criterion collection. So I just thought I'd give. I'm not mentioning everyone, but I mentioned some of the ones that I do think stand out and that I think that everybody should have. If you're a horror sci-fi fan, especially of the older stuff, then I do recommend Monsters and Madmen. It's a really good film. It has one of my favorite, if not my very favorite, Boris Karloff movie that's not named Frankenstein or Bride of Frankenstein, and that is The Haunted Strangler. Again, guys, I want to thank you for joining me down in my movie library here tonight. I hope you guys had a great time. Let me know if you're getting anything from either one of those 3 sales. On the Full Moon side of things, there are so much that I would like to have. I do have a few Full Moons in my collection. I have the first 3 Puppet Master films. I got those from 88 Films. They actually are really great editions. If you're in the UK, I do recommend getting your Full Moon stuff that's out from 88 Films. They did put out some really great editions of stuff there. If you're in North America, you can also get it for, well, wherever's the best place to get it, and the cheapest place, which right now is probably going to be Full Moon, because Full Moon Direct has that 50% off sale. I'm not sure how big of a sale that's going to be, but definitely check it out. I also have the first Subspecies film. I'm trying to see which other ones I got. I got the first Transfers film. Do I have the first Subspecies film? Probably no, not in the. Yes, I do. No, I have one of those. I got Subspecies 2 and 3. I don't have the first one, so I really do need that one. I'm a really big fan of the original Subspecies. Love Redu. Anders Hove actually also acted in a soap opera, General Hospital. We played a character of Cesar Faison. He would come in, like the series, off and on, every once in a while to like do dastardly deeds, because Anders Hove is really good at playing the bad guy. Obviously, he was the amazing vampire Radu, and he just was incredible on that. And unfortunately, just killed his character off of General Hospital in a very definitive way, and it doesn't look like he can come back from this one type of thing, but you never know in soap opera land. So I hope he does, because I really do like Anders Hove, and I like the stuff that he does. I'm very nervous here because my cat is actually near my camera, and I'm hoping doesn't knock it over. So I'll be right back. Alright, my cat is not near the camera right now, but I'm not taking any chances. I'm headed out. So again, 88 Films recently announced that, well, yesterday they put out the Sweet 16 title, a really good one. Code Red had put that one out as well previously. I think it was Darren that said that, like, the guy from Code Red, Bill, is actually nicer than he seems on the forums. Hopefully he is. If that's the case, and then, you know, maybe I'll get some Code Reds down the road, because I will support the little guy out there. I do see 88 Films also as the little guy pretty much as well. So I definitely do support the stuff that they do, and I do like a lot of their releases. There's a lot of really cool stuff, man. Their Slasher Classics collection and their Italian collections have been some incredible things, and especially with the Italian ones, and you're getting actual subtitles. So that's a big deal. So Code Red's going to work on that. They're going to work on the subtitles things. Now, I did hear that Scorpion Releasing is doing some Paul Naschy stuff. So if that's Paul Naschy Werewolf stuff, I am so down with that. I like a lot of Paul Naschy stuff, but the Werewolf stuff has been really underrepresented. There's certain stuff. There's one that he did in Japan, I think, called Beast of the Magic Sword, that I would really like to see get released. Haven't seen a good release of that one at all. There's a few. My dad actually is a huge Paul Naschy fan. He'd be able to tell you all about that. So again, guys, thank you so much for joining me here in the movie library tonight. My voice is going. I actually went longer than I intended to go tonight, especially after doing a 97-minute video last night. Thank you guys so much for watching. For me right now, you know what time it is, guys. It is that time again. It is time for tea.